Hi everyone, my name is Andre Turkat, course director at All for Diving in Phuket, Thailand. In this video, we're going to talk about regulator. Some of you asked me if I can talk about regulator, so that's what we're going to do in this video. First of all, I'm going to explain the general part of a regulator. What's a regulator? You got this part here. This is the part that is attached to the cylinder. This is called the first stage. It's first stage of transformation of pressure. So the cylinder got 200 bars of pressure. So there's 200 bar of pressure that gets into the first stage. And the first stage reduce that pressure and send about 10 bars of pressure into those holes. So it's the first transformation. 10 bar of pressure in the hose. And this part that you put in your mouth, this is the second stage, second transformation. It receives 10 bars of pressure, but it gives you what you need depending on your depth. So it gives you the ambient pressure that you need. So at the surface, it's going to give you 1 bar. At 10 meters down, it's going to give you 2 bar, and so on. It gives you the appropriate amount of air that you need. So you got this second stage. We dive with a spare one. So this is also called a second stage. It's exactly the same thing, works exactly the same way. Some people will call it emergency second stage. What is common, what we hear commonly, it's octopus for this one. But it's a second stage, it's just another second stage. Usually the spare one will have a longer hose. Why a longer hose? The one that you breathe off, you want the smallest hose as possible because you don't want to have something being in the way. So you want to be more streamlined. As the emergency one, this is the one that goes for your body. So it has to be long enough so that your body can take it and breathe from it. And then, of course, you need a pressure gauge, which tells you how much air you got in your cylinder, how much air left. So this pressure gauge is connected differently on your first stage. This one gets the old pressure. There's no transformation. If you have 200 bar in your cylinder, you can have 200 bar in that hose and 200 bar showing on your gauge. So no transformation, need a special hose that can hold 200 bars of pressure. And then you got this little extra hose, which is to connect to your BCD so that you can add air to your BCD and release it. So that's the basic of a regulator. Now, in terms of accessory in a regulator, you have the regulator ones, the first stage. I'm going to try to show you. You see there's a little hole here. So water goes through that hole, and water creates a pressure inside. So depending on the depth you are, deeper you are, greater the pressure is on this part. And this is what tells your regulator how much air to send. How deep you are, it determined only by the pressure of the water on it. This is a standard first stage. You also got this one. First of all, it's environmentally sealed. So you see there's no hole, no water goes inside. There's a little rubber cap to protect. So no water goes inside. If you do ice diving with a regulator like the one I showed you with the hole, water goes in and it freezes. and then the hole gets blocked because it got ice in it. So it can malfunction. So this regulator, you cannot take this ice diving. As if you take one environmentally sealed, nothing can go inside, nothing can freeze up and block the mechanism. And second thing about this one is balance. What does it mean? It means it will always send the same amount of pressure in your hose. There won't be no gap, no difference, never. It's balanced for that. Which one that is not balanced? Sometimes you may have little variation when you move that, go to greater pressure, other things. You know, it's supposed to send 10 bar, but it might have little difference on your dive. And for the second stage, it's the same thing. You got some regular one, which I don't have any, I cannot show you because in our dive center, all our regulator are second state balance. So if it's not balanced, you get air by breathing in. As you breathe in, you open the little valve and air comes in. And the deeper you go, maybe you have to breathe in a little bit stronger to get that air. You might, you're going to see that as you go down, it becomes a little more effort to breathe in. Which a balanced stage, a balanced second stage, will always be as easy to breathe air in it. You can control the strength that you need to breathe in, but no matter which depth you are, doesn't make no difference. They're always going to give you the same ease of breathing. So when you adjust it, if you make it too hard, then it's going to be difficult breathing. But if you make it too soft, then it might go free flow. If it's very loose, then on one breath, when you open the mechanism, it might stay open and go free flow. So you really have to adjust it with a little resistance. Don't put it, the easier the better. No. If you try it at the surface and it's good, you breathe on it, easy to breathe, let's go with that. At depth, it might give you free flow. So you need a little resistance, but then you have to adjust it so it's not too hard. Now, regulator. You learn that you have to do inspection on your regulator every year. Why do we need to inspect the regulator? And why is it important to inspect a regulator? You take a regulator that is not environmentally sealed, water goes inside those holes, and then debris can go inside those holes. It makes, with the salt water, it makes some residue in it. You get some sand that goes in, whatever, and it can block or make it harder to determine the pressure you are. So it needs to be clean. And then you got the mechanism inside that keeps moving as you breathe. And there's mechanical pieces that moves. And like anything that has a continuous movement, well, with time it gets wear. When we service a regulator, we lubricate parts inside, especially the one moving. And then with time, this lubrication becomes not so efficient. So dirt, efficiency of the mechanism inside, getting wear because it always do the same movement, and getting less lubrified. And on top of that, a regulator has to be calibrated. So like I said, your first stage, receive the 200 bars of your cylinder, and it throws 10 bars into your hose. So it has to be calibrated so it really goes 10 bar. So sometime with time, it gets a little off calibration and give the wrong amount. Or this one. This one is the same thing. Needs to be calibrated to give you 1 bar plus ambient pressure. So with time, it might get, decalibrated or uncalibrated. So you have to get it recalibrated. So it's very important to do the service. So what they do, they're going to put your regulator apart, change a lot of part, those moving part that gets wear. They're going to change it. They're going to lubricate the part. They're going to clean everything, lubricate, and set it back in, and then calibrate it. Calibrate the first stage and calibrate the second stage so that you can have worry-free diving. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any more question or any subject you want me to talk about, feel free to let me know. I will make a video on it. If you like this content, follow my YouTube channel, as I will put more video about content like this or any other cool stuff. So on this, have a good day and see you next time.